Hello everyone, welcome. Creation versus God. Existence awareness is the only truth because it is the only thing that is non-negatable and non-destructible. If existence awareness is the only truth, which is prior to the so-called creation, the world must have emanated from this truth or reality. However, reality, the all, is known to be infinite, eternal, absolute, and immutable in all religions and traditions for the following reasons. The all must be all that really is. There can be nothing existing outside the all, else the all would not be the all. Reality must then be infinite in space, for there is nothing else to define, confine, bound, limit, or restrict reality. Reality must have always continuously existed. Reality must have always continuously existed, for there is nothing else to have ever created it, and something can never evolve from nothing. And if it ever not been, even for a moment, it would not be now. It must also continuously exist forever, for there is nothing to destroy it, and something can never become nothing. That means reality is eternal. Reality must be absolute, for there is no other power it is subjected to. It is not dependent on anything else. Reality must also be immutable or changeless, or not subject to change in its real nature. For there is nothing to work changes upon it, nothing unto which it could change, nor from which it could have changed. Thus, reality is infinite, eternal, absolute, and immutable. Well, if reality is eternal and immutable or changeless, it is uncreated and unborn. How could it be subject to change to have created this world? How then can be born again or transformed? How then can it be born again or transformed? Therefore, the changing objects of the manifestation cannot have an existence of their own because absolute existence is already and forever existing. There cannot be two existences or realities. Objects belong to existence. Existence cannot belong to the innumerable objects because there cannot be innumerable existences, like there cannot be innumerable spaces. So, if something is apparently born or apparently created out of this existence, it can only be a temporary appearance. Objects, therefore, have to depend on absolute existence for their appearance. The existence that seems to be in the changing objects does not belong to the apparent objects, but belongs to the eternal and infinite being knowing or awareness, which is there prior to the so-called creation. Objects appear in space. Space does not appear in objects. The nature of something is what makes it what is. If you take away the essential nature of something, it ceases to be what it is. What cannot be changed and is there without any mediation or effort is called our intrinsic nature. The nature of awareness is existence, and the nature of existence is awareness. Thus, the changing objects borrow their existence from the unchanging awareness, just as the moon appears bright by borrowing light from the sun. Doesn't a moving car borrow its space from the formless space without affecting the space? Existence of forms or objects is the proof of formless or objectless existence, just like the consciousness of change is the proof of changeless consciousness. Open space will not be available for any function. Space becomes useful only when it becomes enclosed or seemingly limited. The same is true with existence awareness. The formless existence as the background needs forms to express itself. Otherwise, it is pretty much useless. Pure awareness does not depend on mind or existence consciousness ananda, but depends on the mind for creation or experience, and also for claiming I am awareness. Is awareness reality the cause of the world then? No. Reality by definition, by nature, is infinity. Reality cannot become finite against its nature. If something really stood out of reality's infinite being, then there would be something other than reality's infinite being. And then reality's infinite being would not be reality's infinite being. Reality would be finite. Therefore, it would not be reality, and that it cannot be. Reality can never become finite. Imagine a spherical space that is painted white, everywhere representing infinity. Now you paint a black dot inside it. That black dot divides the infinity into two parts. The infinity is no more infinity. It is impossible for space to get divided and become a part space. The cause and effect that seems to be true from the point of view of the mind does not apply to awareness. The laws that operate in mind's world don't operate in spiritual world. Causation does not apply to reality or awareness because there are no two things there, one to cause another. So, reality can never cause a creation. Reality can never cause a creation. The immortal can never become mortal, nor the mortal become immortal. For it is never possible for a thing to change its nature. You cannot have two contradicting natures in one. For example, fire can never become cold. Fire is always hot. Heat is intrinsic to fire. If fire became cold, it would not be called fire. The sun cannot be both light and dark, hot and cold. Therefore, you cannot have a cause for this so-called creation as the reality. Where is the cause in a chicken and egg story? It is one single process. Reality or awareness is the only thing there is. What is the cause of your dream world? Is it your mind? But dream is itself nothing but mind. It is not separate from mind. Mind is everywhere in the dream. There is no distance possible between the mind and the dream. There are no two things there, one to cause another. Dream is a temporary or seeming modulation of the mind. The reality of the dream is the mind. In the same manner, gold does not become an ornament. Only if it became the ornament does the question arise, how did it become an ornament? Gold continues to be gold. There is an ornament only from the perspective of a bangle. Therefore, creation as we think is not real. Not real as mind and matter. It is dependently real. Real but not really real. The appearance of the finite objects, therefore, is a temporary or seeming modulation, name and form, of the infinite background of the reality's awareness or absolute existence. In a way, a movie is an apparent modulation of the screen. Basically, the world is seemingly produced by the continuous movement of thoughts, like in a virtual or dream-like reality. The East has coined a special word for this, Maya. And Maya is the power of the absolute reality. Creation is Maya, a manifestation, a projection, an appearance, an imagination, an illusion. World borrows its existence from reality. The mind and the world are reduced to thought and object. Thought and object rise simultaneously and resolve simultaneously. Thought and object are thus mutually dependent like sound and hearing. Therefore, both of them are not independently existent. So, both of them are illusory, borrowing existence from something other than either of them. That something is existence, reality, Brahman. Reality alone that lends existence simultaneously to both thought and the object. World is an appearance or mithya or belonging to a lower order reality is the only way we can explain the presence of a non-dual, changeless, actionless reality, which is itself not a cause of this world. Again, world as an appearance or mithya or belonging to a lower order reality is the only way we can explain the presence of a non-dual, changeless, actionless reality, which is itself not a cause of this world. There is no real relationship between the creation and the reality, as they belong to two different orders of reality, just like us and our dreams. World, therefore, appears in awareness, made out of awareness, and known by awareness. To quote Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, even though being one who is unborn, one whose knowledge does not wane, and also being the Lord of all living beings, still wielding my own nature or prakriti, I, as though, come into being by my own Maya. Thank you.